Have you ever wondered why solo leveling has captured so many hearts around the world? Maybe it's that feeling of seeing someone ordinary, someone underestimated, rise against the impossible and become the most powerful being in their universe. It's the fantasy every anime fan loves to experience vicariously, starting weak, being crushed, and then returning so strong that no one can stop you. But the world of anime is huge, and solo leveling isn't alone in this type of journey. Today, you'll discover 10 stories that follow the same spirit, worlds full of monsters, epic battles, and protagonists who defy fate. So buckle up, because what's coming next is pure otaku adrenaline. This is the top 10 anime like solo leveling, here on the Zen Otaku channel. Each anime we cover has its unique twist on the rise from nothing story, and we'll break down how each protagonist grows from weak to overpowered, just like Jinwoo. 1. The beginning after the end. Kicking off strong, we have The Beginning After the End, a story that feels tailor-made for anyone who loved solo leveling. The protagonist is King Gray, a man at the peak of his power and glory, carrying the weight of loneliness. After a mysterious death, he is reborn in a new world full of magic, mystical creatures, and power hierarchies. Only this time, he gets to start from scratch, not as a king, but as a baby. Over time, Gray, now called Arthur, grows with a mix of adult wisdom and youthful curiosity, learning about the world and himself. Like Jinwoo, he starts limited, but with the potential to become something gigantic. Both share that constant evolution feeling, where each battle shapes the character into someone stronger. What's fascinating is that The Beginning After the End also explores the emotions behind power. It's not just about being invincible, but understanding the weight of being someone who can change the world with their own hands. 2. Arifureta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. If solo leveling is about rising from nothing, Arifureta is practically the vengeful cousin of that idea. The protagonist, Hajime Nagumo, is an ordinary student transported to a fantasy world along with his classmates. There, everyone gains incredible abilities, except him. Betrayed by a classmate and thrown into the abyss of a deadly dungeon, Hajime experiences hell. It's there, in the darkness surrounded by monsters, that he rebuilds himself, mentally and physically. Using pure survival instinct, he crafts weapons, develops skills, and transforms from a timid boy into an unstoppable warrior. Just like Jinwoo at the start of solo leveling, he begins as the weakest, facing monsters that seem impossible to defeat. Both have that brutal turning point, the moment fear turns into fury and the character awakens to a power no one else can comprehend. Arifureta is darker and more intense, and it's impossible not to get chills watching Hajime emerge from the depths, stronger than all those who despised him. 3. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime, Tensei Shitara Slime Dataken. Now, shifting the tone slightly but keeping the essence of powerful evolution, we have That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. At first glance, it seems light and even funny. An ordinary man dies tragically and is reincarnated in another world, as a slime. Yes, one of those weak, insignificant creatures that normally die with a single hit. But that's where the anime shines. This slime, later named Rimuru Tempest, quickly shows that the impossible can become reality when you have intelligence and curiosity. Rimuru starts absorbing powers and skills, and each victory, each friendship, and each challenge transforms him into an almost divine force. Like Jinwoo, he isn't born strong, but builds it step by step until he can face kings, dragons, and gods. And while solo leveling dives into a dark, solitary journey, Tensei Shitara Slime shows the other side, growth accompanied by empathy and leadership. Both share the same addictive sense of leveling up constantly. 4. Overlord. Now we enter a dark, powerful, and completely addictive territory. Overlord is that type of anime that makes you wonder, what if Jinwoo, from solo leveling, decided to conquer the entire world instead of just surviving dungeons? Here, the protagonist is Momonga, a dedicated MMO player about to be shut down. At the moment the server should go offline, he realizes he cannot log out. Trapped in his avatar, the terrifyingly powerful Ain's Uol gown, Momonga decides to embrace the new reality and uncover what happened. The detail? He is insanely powerful, a true necromancer overlord. The feeling is similar to seeing Jinwoo at his peak, summoning his army of shadows, only with a darker, more strategic twist. Ainz builds his empire and commands respect and fear from everyone, just like Jinwoo does when he becomes the most feared hunter. Overlord celebrates the "what if the protagonist was the final boss" idea, which makes it utterly addictive. 5. The Eminence in Shadow, Kage no Jitsuryokusha ni Naritakute. Now imagine a character who doesn't want to be the hero or the villain. He wants to control everything from the shadows. The Eminence in Shadow follows Sid Kagenu, a young man obsessed with becoming the Shadow Master, a mysterious figure operating behind the scenes. When he dies in our world and reincarnates in another full of magic, he finally gets to live his dream. He creates a secret organization called Shadow Garden to fight a mysterious cult. Only, without realizing it, the cult actually exists. The incredible part? Sid thinks he's playing, but everything he invents happens in reality. Like Jinwoo, he evolves explosively, starting as an ordinary boy and transforming into a being treated as divine. The story mixes humor, action, and irony, keeping the grandeur of absolute power while adding a lighter twist. 6. Tower of God. Shifting from humor to something more mysterious and symbolic, we have Tower of God. This is one of those animes that grabs you through curiosity and doesn't let go. The story revolves around Bam, a boy who has lived his entire life in darkness until a girl named Rachel leads him to the tower. Each floor represents a challenge, and whoever reaches the top can have any wish fulfilled. The plot is full of secrets, betrayals, and revelations. Bam starts completely naive, powerless, and inexperienced, but the desire to reunite with Rachel drives him to grow. Gradually, he awakens unique abilities and becomes a formidable competitor. Like Jinwoo, he starts at a point of total weakness and transforms through pain, determination, and power. Both protagonists face trials that test their strength and humanity. Tower of God is a physical and inner journey, a metaphor for overcoming challenges wrapped in battles and mysteries. 7. Remonster. If solo leveling is about a human becoming more than human, Remonster is literally about that. The story begins with Tomokui Kanata, a man who dies in the real world and reincarnates as a goblin, one of the weakest creatures in any RPG. From there, he begins a brutal ascent. Every time he defeats or devours an enemy, he absorbs their abilities and becomes stronger. This cycle mirrors Jinwoo's progression. Remonster is raw and instinctive. The protagonist grows among monsters, forms a clan, and challenges the most powerful forces. The tone is raw and violent, giving the sense of controlled chaos we love. You can feel Kanata's power literally increasing, as if you're leveling up alongside him. 8. The Rising of the Shield Hero. Tate no Yusha no Nariagari. Naofumi starts from nothing. Summoned as one of 4 legendary heroes, he only receives a shield. Betrayed and falsely accused, he is humiliated publicly. It seems impossible, but that sparks his journey. Like Jinwoo, he begins weak, underestimated, and with few chances of survival. Through training, strategy, and determination, he evolves and surpasses formidable enemies. The narrative blends evolution, injustice, and revenge, showing that true power is earned, not born. 9. Sword Art Online. Sword Art Online is a classic that kickstarted many RPG-style stories in virtual worlds. Kirito begins as a normal player with no extraordinary skills. Trapped in a deadly game where dying in-game means dying in real life, he must level up fast, learn skills, fight bosses, and protect those he loves. Like Jinwoo, he starts vulnerable but grows with each challenge, gaining power, confidence, and respect. Both face worlds that push their limits, with constant progression and epic moments that make you cheer alongside them. 10. Jobless Reincarnation. Mushoku Tensei, Isekai Itara Honki Dasu. Mushoku Tensei is the epitome of protagonist evolution. Rudeus Greyrot, a failed man in life, reincarnates into a magical world and decides to live without regrets. Starting weak, He grows through discipline and practice into an exceptional mage, and eventually one of the most powerful beings in his world. Like Jinwoo, Rudeus experiences the addictive thrill of constant self-improvement, discovering abilities he never imagined and facing ever greater challenges. His journey from zero to ultimate power is long, detailed, and immensely satisfying. Did you feel the excitement of these epic journeys? Each anime shares with Solo Leveling the thrill of seeing someone ordinary rise and become unstoppable. Facing monsters, dungeons, towers, or magic worlds, these protagonists show that strength, strategy, and perseverance can turn anyone into a legendary hero. If you enjoyed this list, subscribe to Zen Otaku and hit the notification bell to never miss content. Leave a like and comment which anime you've watched or are most excited to see. Join our Otaku community and cheer as our favorite heroes conquer every level.